Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening, Ms. Katiwa.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening, Katile. We can hear you loud and clear.
Good evening, Ms. Katiwa.
I think we are running out of time and we need to start the presentations. Katile, go ahead.
Oh, I wasn't hearing you. I'm sorry. So thank you so much, Joshua, for starting up the session. So today we are having our session 23 on building a healthy mother and child training. And we are on our last topics about maternal mental health. And today we are having our speaker, Tabitha Mwai, who is the founder of Decent Conversations. She's a multi-platform content creator, an author, and life coach. And she'll be taking us through the topic maternal mental health care. That is how fathers are affected mentally during pregnancy of their wives or their girls. So welcome so much, our speaker, Tabitha Mwai. I am your moderator, Katile Mutuku.
Thank you, Katile. Can somebody confirm that they can hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So Tabitha, unfortunately, we don't have power. Imepotea tu sai. So I may not be able to put my video on, but I think you can just share the photo. So as I go through the presentation, what was Boeke? So I have a few things to share this evening. We'll just to give you an overview of what I'll be sharing. I'll just be looking at the causes of paternal depression. This is during pregnancy and after the first few months after childbirth. That's around 6 months after childbirth. And then the risky factors, and what else? And common symptoms, effects, effects, and maybe now how can we deal with it? So that is how my presentation will be. Unfortunately, I don't have a slide. I just have my notes, my speaking points, but I'll try to be as engaging as possible. So I don't know what is the format of the conversation. Do I make the presentation first and then questions to come in later? Or do we take questions as we go?
You do the presentation, then after the questions.
Okay. So I'll try to cover everything. How much time do I have to make the presentation? Because I see we are a bit behind with time, so that I'm also keep the time.
I think we can end the session at 8:15.
Okay. So that will be enough time. I might even finish earlier than that. So good evening, everyone. I hope you're doing well. So the topic of paternal depression, or how men are affected mentally when it comes to the period of pregnancy and the first few months of childbirth, is oftenly something that we don't expect. Like most of us think it's only the women who are affected to suffer postnatal depression, but now even men are affected, though it's not a huge percentage. It's about 10% globally of men that show signs of depression. Most of them just experience daddy blues, which is just a period where you're exhausted with the change, and also because of lack of sleep deprivation in the first few months of childbirth. But for those who have symptoms that go beyond a month, often these are signs of a depression. And globally, it's estimated to be around 10%. But the number is higher, especially in instances where now there's maternal depression. When the mother now gets to postnatal depression, it affects the fathers. So you find in instances where women are also depressed after childbirth, the number goes up to 50% of men now experience also postpartum depression. What are the causes? Mostly when it comes to women, we know there's the whole hormonal changes that happen, the changes in the body, you having to carry a new being inside of you, and the whole process of childbirth and hormonal changes often are seen as the causes of postnatal depression. But now when it comes to men, actually I was reading a study saying that men also experience hormonal changes. So during the process of pregnancy, you find that there are some men whose testosterone levels drop, and then there's an increased level in estrogen, prolactin, and cortisol goes up. So you find there are men who even show symptoms of pregnancy. There are those ones who have symptoms like nausea and even weight gain. So you see, there are those men who actually, I don't know, it's like nature's way of telling you have to experience this pregnancy with your wife or with your partner. So it makes them develop symptoms that are similar to pregnancy symptoms. And so what are the risky factors or other causes of this kind of postpartum depression? So we find some of the common factors is if somebody has had a history of mental illness, or if they've had an instance where they've had depression before in their life, they are more likely to suffer postpartum depression. And then there's also the issue of childhood traumas. So most of the time when somebody is faced with a difficult situation, or a situation that makes them uncomfortable or is quite demanding, the childhood traumas tend to bring out the issues of depression in this person. And this is also the case in instances of postpartum depression for men. And also if they have had any kind of loss in their life, this could be a loss of a loved one, either when they were young or even as adults, or they have lost something significant in their life, any changes in their life will bring about this postpartum depression. Then we have also other risk factors, which are almost similar to other causes of depression, like similar to any other form of depression. It doesn't have to be postpartum. As we all know, most of the time depression is caused by stress. So if this person is experiencing any form of stress, it could be stress related to work, stress related to finances, which is quite common because of the changes that you're experiencing now with a child coming in. There is more responsibility, the bills are going to be higher. So that financial constraint on men tends to cause them a lot of stress and anxiety. And then in instances where we have a child who has been delivered prematurely, or if the child has been delivered with a condition or with a disease or a sickness, it will put a strain on the parents. And you'll find that most men will now sinking slowly into depression. There's also the issue of relationship-related stress. So if there's a constraint in the relationship, if the father and the mother are not really in a smooth term, this kind of thing will now trigger the depression to come in. Then we have at times some dads have difficulty developing an attachment with the child. So you'll find that they don't even know how to soothe this child. They are not sure how to hold them. They're not sure how am I going to take care of this child? I can barely hold them in my hand. They are too small. So there's that kind of insecurity that comes in, and it becomes hard for these fathers to bond with the child and to form an attachment. So when they suffer, when they are struggling with forming that bond and that attachment, it makes them get depressed. So it might just start as anxiety at the start, but slowly, if they continue having a problem developing that attachment, then it becomes worse and it becomes a form of depression. Then sometimes there is a lack of social support. So, for instance, you find a couple that is having a child, but they're having issues with their family, the extended family or the immediate family. No one is supporting them, or maybe they did not agree with their decision, they did not agree with their relationship. So you find that maybe they are wametengwa. Let me use that word. They've been put aside. No one is really supporting them. So in that sense, you find it's easy for them to get into depression, because you're feeling that, did I make the right decision? How am I going to do this if other people don't support me, and having such kinds of thought will easily trigger depression. Then there's the issue of the change that has come in. So when a woman delivers a baby, you find that a lot of energy is put into. It's not even voluntary, it's the natural process. So the woman is required to put in a lot of emotions, a lot of even physical energy to take care of this child, to bond with them, to nurse them, to nurture them. And so as the mother is going through this process, as they are developing this bond with the child, at times it creates a sense of jealousy with the father. So the father sees that right now all the attention is in the child. Subconsciously they're thinking, all the attention is in the child, there is no space for me. The mother is probably not looking at my needs as I would want them to. So you find that feeling that I'm not included, they just have their own world, I'm not part of that world, I'm feeling separate from them. It makes the fathers develop that sense of anxiety and depression. And then there's also the issue of lack of role models. You see, when you become a parent, most of the time, always, you don't know what you're doing. So it's trial and error, and in instances where you don't have someone to talk to or someone to look up to in terms of a role model parent, then the new father is likely to feel inadequate, to question their abilities, to question themselves. And in that process of questioning themselves, they spiral down and they can sink in slowly into depression. Yeah, I think those could be some of the common risk factors, though they are not really exhaustive. Every person is different. So their mental health could be affected, or their state of depression could be triggered by just anything, as it could be triggered by these factors that I've mentioned, because depression is caused by multiple factors. So it could be even in their family, they have a history of depression. So those are some of the things that could cause, but these ones that I've given, they're just general causes and risk factors that could bring in instances of depression. Then how do you identify this? Because as you said, as the way the factors are numerous and they differ from person to person, is the same way that the symptoms are. Because for some people, they could be depressed, but you actually don't know. They could be struggling with the whole issue of bonding with their child, the whole issue of, even there's some who even resent their wives because now you brought a child and all the attention is on them. So you find is that the symptoms could be different. There are those ones who will act out, and but there are those ones who will not show the symptoms at all, because they will I think they keep to themselves. So when you see the instances of they're withdrawing from their work, they're withdrawing from their normal activities, they're finding little joy in what used to make them happy. So if this person will find maybe joy in watching football, or I don't know, what do men do apart from watching football, going out with the boys, something. So you find they're losing interest in what they used to like, or what used to bring them pleasure, and even sometimes they even withdraw from their family. So they are instead of them coming home and being there with the wife or the significant other during this period of pregnancy and after they've gotten the child, you find out they will be staying away, coming home even later than usual, taking more work trips or road trips just to be away, because they feel that they don't fit into this new unit that has come in, or they feel that their role is not really clear. So that is one of the symptoms that is often overlooked, because it's not really there in your eyes to start. It's not really a risky kind of symptom, because you will assume that it's normal behavior. Then the other things to look out for, the other things that will alert you, will be maybe feeling of worthless, being worthless, in the sense of, as I'm just saying, you don't really understand parenting. You don't think being a parent is rewarding. The man will be thinking, how am I even going to take care of this child in the instance where they're having financial constraints? If the relationship is not really working, now they'll be feeling, so my significant other has decided to replace me with this child, so all the affection is going to the child. So there's that feeling of being worthless or helpless. And then other things will be maybe feeling confused, afraid, just that kind of uncertainty that comes with just being a new parent. There's a lot of anxiety, and then there's also the feeling of confusion and being uncertain about the future, because things have changed. You are used to life being a certain way, but now the child has come, and you don't know what will happen next, because now this is a new life, a new being in the home, and you're not sure what is going to happen next. Then there are those people who just become sad. In extreme cases, that there are those, I know men don't really cry, but in several instances, you'll see that they're really sad, and there's some who will even shed a tear or two, because they really don't understand what is going on. Then there's irritability and agitation. So something really small can make them really burst out, just asking them something small can even lead into a fight. There are even those ones who now become so angry at everyone and at everything, blaming everyone for their problems. And in some cases, this can even lead now to gender-based violence. So this person is really dealing with a lot mentally. They are not understanding. There's so many changes happening. They don't understand what is happening. They feel like they're not in control of their lives anymore. And so as they're dealing with all these emotions, as they think that they're doing the right thing, then they end up becoming violent, because now they are acting out. They're trying to relieve the emotion that is within them. Then we have, I had mentioned that they start losing interest in things that were bringing them joy. So in some cases, you'll find that even there's loss of interest in sex, and they start now resenting their wives. They don't want to be close to them, because when somebody is depressed, a lot is happening in their minds. Then in some cases, there's even insomnia, so difficult sleeping, loss of appetite. Because of anxiety, you'll find there are people who have shortness of breath, and their heart beats really hard. And there's those ones now who now decide to keep themselves busy by engaging in risky behavior. So you'll find as this person, as I had said, there are those ones who will now withdraw from their family. So as they withdraw, maybe they decide to get into gambling. This is a time that you hear so many men say that I cheated on my wife when we got a child, and you hear so many cases happening, and probably it's because they were unaware that they were dealing with depression. There are those who now sink in deep into alcohol and find solace in alcohol and drugs because they feel that no one really understands them. And the funny bit is there are those ones now who have physical symptoms. As I had mentioned during pregnancy, there are those ones who will even have nausea, they will gain weight, and these symptoms can even continue up to 6 months after childbirth. So there are symptoms like indigestion, loss of appetite, or they gain appetite, they can gain weight or lose weight, diarrhea, constipation, constant headaches, at times even toothaches, and just a lot of things that happen, even feeling tired, constantly feeling tired. This could be some other physical symptoms that the men can manifest as they are going through paternal depression. So I think those are some of the symptoms I would like to share. But also just be on the lookout. Also be on the lookout because depression in men is really hard to notice. Because a man might be having a headache, or they may be having indigestion, or they may be having nausea, or even any other, they might be having so many symptoms, but you might not really notice because, as you know, we've grown up in a society where men are told to hide their emotions. So if they're feeling sad and lonely and confused, these are not emotions that they're going to express. You're not likely to hear them telling you that I'm feeling worthless. So these are not things that a man is going to express. But if it was for a woman, they would easily tell you, no, I am feeling worried, I am feeling scared, I am feeling helpless. But for men, they don't really express it. And that's why in so many cases, there are cases of depression, especially postnatal and prenatal depression, is easily unrecognized in men because hizi vitu hawatasema. But if you're keen and if you know somebody who just have a child and it's maybe even their first child, it's good to just look out for them because they might be dealing with these emotional changes that they're not able to express. So yeah, I think those are just about the symptoms. And as I've said, just be on the lookout because, again, just as the same as the triggers, the symptoms will differ from person to person. There are those ones who will show, there are those ones who won't show, there are those ones who will stay away, there are those ones who will become now over-involved. They want to be in control, but this is just their way of communicating that they are struggling with depression. So how does this affect the child? First of all, if in cases where we have the dad's going through depression and the mom's also going through depression, this is a very, very unstable home because the mother does not have someone to support them. Okay, not really doesn't have someone to support them, but the support system within the home is really weak. And if there are other kids in this home, they will be affected. Their emotional stability is really affected. And even for the kid, for the toddler or the infant that has just come into this new home, they're going to be affected because the emotional support is not really strong. And at the time, at the first few months and years of a child, they need so much emotional support from their parents and the people around them for them to develop emotionally so much emotionally, and even to form healthy bonds. So if they're in this environment where the mother is struggling with depression and their father is struggling with depression, then they are likely to have emotional challenges, because in that point where they were supposed to be bonding and creating healthy bonds with their parents, that was the point where their parents were struggling to create that bond. So later in life, you'll find such children will really struggle emotionally and even in behavior, because they really didn't have that strong bond with their parents. Then for these dads, because most of them are feeling that they're feeling worthless, they're feeling confused, and they're feeling out of place, or even sad and challenged, they're more likely actually to spank their children. So you'll find fathers who are dealing with depression at this period, they will be the ones to really beat up this kid as compared. I'm not saying that parents who beat up their children are depressed. No, we all have different ways of raising our children, but the ones who are really tough and hard on their kids, if a study is really done and they were really evaluated, they might have been at some point either during the pregnancy stage or postnatal, they had depression. So the other thing that these dads are likely to do, they are less likely to interact with children in a positive way. In a positive way, I mean in bonding activities that normal bonding activities that you have parents do, like reading stories to their children, just doing social activities, playing football, depending on the community. I know people bond differently with their children. So there are those ones who bond as they do homework, taking them out, and just running around in the house, sharing stories about their families. So you'll find this, because they were struggling at at that point, they are less likely to have these kinds of interaction with the child. So unapata the relationship with the child become mechanical, because now I'm just the father, but I'm not able to connect with this child emotionally. There are things that become really difficult for them to do together. Then what is the other effect? So the other effect is increased conflict in marriage. As you know, when somebody is going through depression, there's that sense of worthlessness, like you feel trapped. I think most people use that term to define what they're feeling. It's not a feeling that you can easily express. And if the mother is going through postpartum depression and the father is going through the same, then it becomes really hard for them to communicate and even to just support each other through this journey of parenting. And so you'll find, if there was already a strain in their relationship or in that family, the strain now becomes even I don't know how to put it, it becomes worse, and there could be increased cases of conflict in the family. Yeah, so those are just some of the effects which might come by as a result of paternal depression. So we've seen the symptoms, the causes, and the effects. Now, how do you deal with it? Just as any other type of depression or any other form of depression, the best way to deal with this is to seek help. Speak up. As I've said, most men will not want to speak up and talk about their issues. So it might require you as a friend or as a family member to be there emotionally and even sometimes physically to support new parents. You can support your friend or your relative through the journey of pregnancy. Just be checking up on them. How are you doing? How is the baby doing? when you have time, just visit them and see how they are doing. That helps to make them feel at ease, like they feel like there's somebody who cares. We are just not doing this alone. Our friends and family are together with us. So even when they feel sometimes the burden is too heavy on their shoulders, at least they will feel at ease to seek help. Yeah, just like any other form of depression, if they cannot seek out help, just be there for them, be their safe space, and help them through this journey. Then the other thing is, as a new parent, or as you're going through the journey of pregnancy, there is need for you to get a support system. I think nowadays we have so many Facebook group, WhatsApp groups that are there for parents. It doesn't matter whether you are alone or you're together with the father or the mother of the child. These platforms are there just to help you understand what you're going through, to be there throughout your journey, and for you to even just, these are people who are also parents. So if there's a dad's group there, just be there in that group. It becomes your support system. It becomes a place where you feel safe and you can ask any question. So when you're having all these questions running through your head, from time to time, you can just throw them in that support group, and you'll find that the heart becomes lighter, because a problem shared, it's half solved. So at least when you have some place to share, it becomes easier. Yeah, and I think also one more thing I would say is preparing yourself. I know it's not always that you'll be able to prepare for a child. Sometimes children come when they want to come. But if you're able to prepare yourself as an aspiring parent, or a parent, maybe you have one kid, you're looking forward to have another child. So if you're able to prepare yourself, and by preparing yourself is maybe setting even money aside, prepare yourself even psychologically, knowing that there will be changes in this home, and just talk about it with your significant other, and agree when are we going to have children, how far apart are we going to space them. That way you're able to deal with all these emotional changes. You become aware. So when there are these emotional changes and you know your triggers, you are able to deal with it effectively, as compared to you not being ready. Because the emotional changes that come with childbirth are not so easy on either the man or the woman. So yeah, I think for me, those will be the things I will say on how to manage and deal with it. I'm seeing the time is really moving so fast. So maybe what I'll do, because I think I've covered most of it. What I'll do is give people a chance to ask questions, and then yeah, I can have enough time to respond so that we don't run out of time. Back to you, Katile. I think you can also type the questions.
Thank you so much, our speaker Tabitha. I'm really impressed by your presentation, and I've learned a lot. So maybe from the participants, if you have a question, you can unmute or type in the chat box. Ivina is asking if you can share the presentation slides after the session.
So I didn't make a presentation, but I can share my notes. Yeah, I think, see, you have their contacts.
Yeah, you can just share as a PDF.
Yeah,
Then
I
I
can.
will forward to them.
Yeah, so I can work on something and share as a document.
It's okay, no problem. So do we have any other questions from the participants, or the session was amazing? Personally, the session was clear and straight to the point. We have a question from Abubakar Ramani. Can it lead to severe mental illness like bipolar? I think she's asking if the depression can lead to severe mental illness like bipolar.
So what happens with depression? If depression goes on for a long time and it's not treated, it's likely to come with other complications, because we see, especially in men, they manage it the wrong way. You know, for women, it's easier because we talk it out. Utaenda kwa chama, you will call someone, you know. So for men, I cannot say if there's a direct relationship to bipolar, because also bipolar is another form of mental illness and there are different causes. But there is a chance that if the cases of depression are not treated, they could lead to other serious mental health conditions, or it could even make someone suicidal. So yeah, I hope that answers it.
Thank you. I think Abubakar Ramani, you answered. Do we have another question? I
Okay,
can see.
it is either I was so clear, ama people did not understand. There's no question.
On my side, you are so clear. So I think that's why.
Okay.
Yeah, on my side, it was so clear and straight to the point, and then the language was friendly to us. So I think that's why it was well understood. Also in Facebook, I can't see any other question. Just in following. So maybe as a reaction, we can. Yeah, Laviji saying that you were so clear.
No.
Thank you so much for the session. I think the reason we don't have many questions is because you are so clear and straight to the point.
Oh, okay, then that's nice. I was worried.
No. I can see in the chat box, nutritionist Sheila saying the session was awesome. Immaculate, the session was clear, thanks to the speaker. Agatha, session appreciated, thank you. Vina, the topic was well explained, and thank you. I think that's all I can get from the chat box. From Facebook, I can see that comments following. Yeah, most of them Mildred following. So I think it was an amazing session and straight to the point. But I can see a question in Facebook from Jerry Waruguru. Can a pregnant mother, or rather a lactating mom, suffering traumatic stress affect the baby's health?
Hello.
Hello?
Did you finish the question?
Yes.
Oh,
Can
okay,
a pregnant mom or a lactating mother suffering traumatic stress affect the baby's health?
Yes, okay. There are studies that have been done showing that there's a relationship between a mother's mental health and the child's general well-being. It is believed that we transfer our emotions, especially during breastfeeding. So that's why it's very critical for people to take care of nursing mothers, because I don't know if it is scientific or if it is psychological, but there's that belief that you transfer your emotions to the child. So you'll find whenever we're having women who are really stressed out and they're having challenges, most of the time, even their their level yao ya maziwa ina reduce. So you'll find the people who are not really producing enough milk for the child, or you'll find the child having so many cases of diarrhea or even stomach pains. So I don't know if it is scientific, but there's that relationship between the mother's mental health and the child's health. It might not be really serious cases, but there's a discomfort that comes when the mother is not well.
Thank you, our speaker. I hope, Jerry, you answered. So maybe I can read some comments from the chat box. Josh Chania is saying the session was awesome. Jack Ma, thank you much for a nice session. I feel I've learned so much. Beryl, the session was good and answered most of my questions. Coril, thank you for the session. Winnie Nyanduko, the session has been educative. Thank you so much. Amoy Takisa, thank you for the session. So I'm really amazed by the feedback in the chat box.
That's nice. I am happy to see there's a positive feedback. Unfortunately, I could not put my video on. We are in total darkness, but I really enjoyed the session as well, though sijasikia watu wakiongea, but when I see the feedback saying that the session was clear, I am glad. So meaning that we will take precautions, especially for the men who want to become parents, or those who are parents already. So don't feel traumatized or don't feel stigmatized, because there's a lot of stigma with male depression in our society. They are not allowed to really feel what they are feeling. It's like, if you feel a certain way, you are not man enough. So if you're going through mood changes, if you're going through trauma, if you're going through depression, anxiety, if you're feeling your body has changed, you're not feeling like yourself, you're having unexplained emotions, just don't keep it to yourself. You might feel embarrassed to talk to a psychologist, but have a support system, have a place, have a safe space. I am sure there's that one person you can talk to about anything without them judging you. So just have a safe space. Be in social groups, even if you may not really speak out what you're feeling, but those social groups make you feel safe. They are like a safety net, because you will see there are other people out there who are struggling, or there are people out there who are there to support you and to be there for you. So yeah, I think that is my parting shot. And just to encourage men, speak out, and reach out to the people you trust. And if you're a friend or a family member, don't stigmatize people with depression. It is a disease like any other, and anyone can get it. So if you stigmatize, it will be a silent disease that will kill this person slowly. And later on, you'll be asking, huyu venye alikuwa mpole. So don't wait for that point where you start saying, hi, na hatukuona, hatukunotice. It's because you really didn't give them space for them to notice. So if somebody is seeking out help, they're not trying to seek attention. They're just unwell and need somebody to take care of them. Yeah, thank you so much for participating in this conversation, and thank you, Katile, for having me. And I look forward to more discussions. So have a great evening.
Thank you, and have a great evening all. And for the participants, thank you for joining in time, and remember to sign the attendance form. Thank you so much, our speaker, and looking forward to having more sessions with you.
Thank you, and keep up the good work. These are not common day conversations, but they are necessary.
True.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Bye.